Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel again. And Neil Druckmann, oh Neil Druckmann, you really don't understand, you still don't get it, you still try to think that you are right because those access media people just praise you and praise the way that you made this game, whereas you have the majority of people in the internet just calling you out. And you still don't want to get out of your bubble and to understand that what you made with this game is a mistake from the perspective of storytelling. Again, I want to focus on storytelling here because I'm not going to talk about something that I don't know anything about. I'm not going to talk about the technical side of the game. I don't have the qualification to do so. But I am a literature major and I love literature and I have read a lot of literary works, so I know my shit. The story sucks. Now you will see that Neil Druckmann is speaking about the choices that he made, saying that he knew people wouldn't like this game because how they treated Joel. Hear him and let's carry on then.
I knew people would get upset at a character they love dying. I never thought it would reach this kind of hate. I don't know how to describe it even. Frustration, I'm not sure. Right? We've never shied away from the fact that we said there's going to be fans of the first game that don't like this game. And this is the reason why. Because we killed Joel in this fashion. So we knew that going in.
Alright, so you can hear for yourself that he clearly knows what he was doing and he just thought that it was something good to do, and he's speaking about context and whatnot.
The thing that was hard to see is then people kind of like dug their heels in the sand and took this position, be like, I already hate this game. No amount of context is going to change it for me.
No, there is no context at all in there. He's also speaking about people getting their egos in the way of understanding the game and the choices that he made. But let me tell you something very, very important here. So the people that criticized the game, most of them criticized it for the story, and there are even people who got review copies and criticized it, someone like Skill Up.
And then their ego is getting wrapped in it. And it's like, oh, I could just tell certain people they're never coming back. Like we're not going to get them back.
And there are even people who are considered to be left-leaning, like Skill Up again and Angry Joe, and they criticize the game. We have even some LGBT people criticizing the game. So again, let's ask this question: whose ego is wrapped up here? And whose ego is preventing them from seeing the actual picture of what is happening? Because you have people criticizing you for the story, and people are not dumb. They are not criticizing you just because of emotion. I am criticizing you and coming from a literary standpoint. So in literature, anyone knows that when you read a literary work, whether it's fiction or a play or whatever, you have those characters, and when you have the characters, you know that they have certain traits, that they would do this or wouldn't do that, that they behave this or that way because they have a personality. So what happens with Joel is that his personality is completely against what you did with him in this second game. Someone that I like to compare Joel to, and that is very close to him, is Kratos from God of War. He doesn't trust anyone easily. If ever he does, he doesn't hesitate. He knows that the world is full of shit and that you cannot trust anyone. He has been through a lot, whether it's Kratos or Joel. Both of them have been through a lot, of suffering, lost people that are dear to them, and so they behave the way they behave because they know that they cannot trust the world and the people in it, and especially more so in a world like The Last of Us Part 2, because it's a post-apocalyptic world, and because even Neil Druckmann himself depicted this world like a war zone. So there are groups and communities fighting against each other for territory, for resources, and for a lot of things. So why would Joel save Abby in the first place? The normal Joel would just carry on with his mission. He doesn't care about others because he knows that the moment he starts to care and the moment he starts to deviate from the mission, it's going to cost him something. So he's not going to do that. And then you claim to say, oh, there is context and people's egos and whatnot. So it's like you, Neil Druckmann, and a few access media journalists who think the game is good, you against the huge majority of people who think that the game is bad. Story-wise again, I have to insist on that. Now you have to defend the game with everything that you've got because it has to sell well. I mean, I understand that you want your game to sell well, but you don't understand that in order for your game to sell well, you need to think about your audience and you need to think about what they want. And even if you don't think about what they want, or you want to create this shock value or whatever, you need to create it in such a good way. It doesn't get into the way of their feelings so much so that they hate this game totally and they hate the character Abby. And there's also something, the voice actor for Joel, I think his name is Troy Baker or something, he is speaking about people's feelings and they got into the way and whatnot. So it's the same narrative that Neil Druckmann is trying to feed us. I have heard this Troy Baker speaking with an ex-IGN employee. So the truth is not something that you own. No one can say that they own the truth. And when you say, yeah, it's just a game, you have to look at it with an open mind. That was prior to the game release. It was for me like you were saying, oh, I just want my paycheck and I have no emotional investment in Joel whatsoever. So that's a very bad thing for an actor as far as I'm concerned, because the best actors have this really good relationship or strong relationship with the characters that they play. They will try to explain what they feel about the character without saying or diminishing the game value or the movie value by just like saying, oh, it's just a game, like Troy Baker said. So yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, but I wholeheartedly disagree with you because I think that was a horrible thing to do, and because I think that you don't own the truth in any way, shape or form. But from what I understand and from the way that you speak, you just seem that you don't care, that you just want your paycheck. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, again, you know what to do. Please hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. I'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one.